Friends, today I'm going to explain about the JavaScript object. Just find it, find. So JavaScript object is nothing but it has an another collection of properties, each of which have a name and a value. And property names are usually strings, and sometimes property names can also be a symbols. So in this class, we are going to learn about how to create an object. There are three ways to create an object. One is with the help of object literals. Second is with the help of new keyword. Third is with the help of object.create function. Today we are going to learn about how with the help of object literals, and we also learn about how to access JavaScript object properties. It has two ways. One is with the help of dot operator. The second one is with the help of square bracket. Let's look practically how this works. So this is my files which I have teaching.html, .js and app.js. But yeah, in the HTML is this is the basic format I have where I added the app.js and teaching.js over here. So yes, now let's say web person equal to object. I mean, sorry. Whenever you define as an object literal, you give an open flower bracket and close flower bracket. That's it. So right now we just created a JavaScript object, but this JavaScript object is an empty. It doesn't have any properties. Person is a type of object which is an empty object, which is an empty basically. Let's see that whether it is empty or not. Console.log person uh, person. So now let's look into the console. Yeah, you see here we just got an empty object for a person. There is another way to look what is the type of for a person. There is type of is a one where you can pass person and you will get it is an object. So person is an object, and now let's add something to this person, like I mean properties, unordered collection of properties. So in object you can define strings, you can define numbers, you can give a boolean value, you can also define an object within an object, and you can also declare a function in this object. Let's declare everything whatever which I said. Like let's say first name, which is John. I just given a name. Last name, which is Smith. Okay, and every time you after a property is defined like this, you have to add a comma after that. If you doesn't add a comma, you will get an error. Let's say address. See, you will get an address because you didn't added a comma over here. Now you added a comma, and that was good. And let's say address has a multiple things, like within a address we have a street number, we have a city, we have a state, zip code and everything, right? So I just add an object. I will add within an object, right? So I define an object within an object. Street number 135 Cross Avenue. I just have to place it in a string, comma, city, somewhere Florida. Nope, sorry, Edison, something. Yeah, I will add a state afterwards, zip code afterwards. But now let's add full name. Okay, I just didn't give a comma over here, that's why I'm getting error. I just define a function in this function. So return this dot first name plus this dot last name. That's it. um, these are some, like, let's define age, which is a boolean. Age 24, sorry, I mean, uh, number. And now I also define some hmm, flag, just says flag, that's fine, which is true. So I created everything in this. And also you can create, like, a first name was John, last name Smith, address, full name, age, which is a number, and a flag, which is a boolean. So I define, let's look into the console.log person, what will happen. If you see here, I got everything what I defined. Address was there, which is a city, street number, and then I have a first name, full name, last name. You see, um, now I want to access only first name. I don't want all this. I just want just a first name. How do you do that? With the help of dot operator. Like, let's say person. When I type person, I just got everything, right? So after that, like, if you mention a dot is something which access individual properties. Like, you see, whenever I click that, I got everything what I have over here. So let's write first name. Okay, over here I have. So let's see what will happen. I will only get John. I don't get any other. This is the one of the way to access property. And I also said that you can access properties with the help of square bracket. What that mean is, instead of dot operator, I add a square, and this first name will be in a string. And see, I just define like this, and within a square bracket I will get John as the first name. Okay. Now, let's see, I want to access address, address address, and I'll get an object. You see, whatever I define, street number, city, everything I got. And now I want to call full name. uh, okay, person dot full name. I will, any function can be invoked like this with open parenthesis and closed parenthesis, right? So I just invoked, so I will get this dot first name plus this dot last name. You see, I just got John Smith. First name is a John, last name is Smith. This is like, whenever you want to access the person's properties within a function, you have to define with this operator. I will explain clearly about this in the further coming classes. Yeah, okay. So this is the way we access. This is the way we can access this. Now let's say, let me define this in a square bracket also. 1 minute. Uh, just a second. You see what something error? You see, I just got a full name. Like, I didn't invoke it, but I got a total function. For invoking, the same thing. After you define that, you just add this thing, and I will get John Smith. You got it right. um, I want to add state to the address. How can we add? The same way, but you have to assign it. That's the way you add any property to the person. Like person dot, I will get all the properties over first name, last name, address. Whenever I type dot, I can have access to all those. So here I want a address, right? So I add address, and then address is again an object, right? So I want to add state within this object, so I have to go one more dot operator, and then I have to add state. So state, then I add equal to something, let's say Florida. Okay, that's it. Now A state is added to the person's address object. Let us look into that. Let's add that address to this function, like person address. Okay, I just got a person's address object, like it has a street number, it has a state. You see here, Florida is added to the person's address object. That's the way you add. And you can also add with the help of square brackets. Let's say I add zip number address, and then I have to go within address object a zip, like a new one. So I just create a square bracket and I just write zip code, and then I assign it a 010101 something. That's it. Let's see person's address. See, zip code is added to that. So these are the ways we can add, like with the help of dot operator you can access the properties, and you can also add any new property to this object. um, yeah, yeah friends, so this is all about how to create an object with the help of object literals, and how to access the object properties with the help of dot and square object. Tomorrow I am going to explain, or in the further classes I am going to explain how to create an object with the help of new keyword, and also with the help of object dot create functions. Thank you friends for watching this video.